This might be one of my favorite Loser Donald segments of all time. It's not enormously important, but it's fun. You're going to like the parts in this. This is the Comedy Central roast leaks. Now, these are not as damaging as the Access Hollywood leaks where Donald Trump said crazy things, but it's funnier. So he's going to get roasted, and he's got a whole bunch of demands that apparently no one else had. We start out nice and simple. A woman is going to take his coat on stage. He finds her not attractive enough. Classic Donald Trump. And he says he told the stage manager that it's not somebody he wanted to be associated with at that moment. He's so unbearable. All right, we're just getting warmed up. He demanded that everybody call him Mr. Trump. You notice that the media goes along with that and they call him that? I'm like, why do you keep calling him that like he's your boss? Well, it turns out he insists on it. Here's Jones Larson. He says, that was sort of the mandate. You call him Mr. Trump, so when he shows up in this day and age, it's a strange thing to do. Even having been around a lot of different celebrities, I can't remember a single other time I've had to call someone Mr. You know why? The guy is enormously insecure. He's a loser, and he's just, all right, the only way that people will respect me is if they call me Mr. Trump. Hey, everybody call me Mr. Trump. Call me Mr. Trump. All right. And then he doesn't really know what he wants to do. This is another story we heard in other instances. So he just asked the last guy in the room. He asked people around him really important questions. So he asked one of the guys involved in the Comedy Central roast whether he should run for president. This was back in 2011 when he was trying to make the decision to run in 2012. Joel Gallen says, it was like I was his confidant. What do you think, Joel? Should I run? It was the most important decision of this guy's life. And this guy's asking, what the hell are you asking me for? I'm involved in a Comedy Central show. I don't know if you should run for president. You make up your own mind. And after every joke that they rehearsed, he'd be like, was it funny? Hey, everybody, was it funny? Because he has no mind of his own. He's an insecure shell of a man. Okay, now, the things that were prohibited. This is very important. Now, we told you this on the Young Turks before anybody else, but this now confirms it. There's a couple of things that a Comedy Central roast you're allowed to put as off limits. Normal, like for example, William Shatner didn't want to talk about his third wife who had passed away in their house. Very understandable, right? Donald Trump didn't mind any of that. Here's what was prohibited. In August, Aaron Lee, another roast writer, posted a note on the app list that referenced Trump's prohibition on, quote, any joke that suggests Trump is not actually as wealthy as he claims to be. Bankruptcy jokes are the one thing Trump's super sensitive about, Jeffrey Ross told Jimmy Kimmel in July. So the thing you're not allowed to joke about is the thing that you would most joke about in a roast. Is he really that rich? Because he's not that rich. And he's super insecure about it. Even in a roast, he won't let anybody joke about it. You know it. Even if you're a Trump supporter, you know he's insecure. He has this unquenchable thirst to feed his ego. And he's like, okay, everybody call me Mr. Trump. Everybody say I'm rich. Everybody say I'm rich. No one who's an actual billionaire does that. By the way, he did this show for $400,000. They're like, gee, we don't know why he did the show. He did it for the money because he's not that rich. Later, he told people, it was $1 million. Comedy Central's like, no, it's not. And the best reporting we have is this is around $400,000. And that's why he did it. Now, this is funny. They further explain, even in a script designed to be self-effacing, Trump couldn't resist boosting himself. At the conclusion of the rebuttal, in an exaggerated, even by Trumpian standards, riff about how he lives in a 25,000 square foot penthouse atop my solid gold space station, Trump ordered that the square footage be goosed to $50,000. How petty is he? No, if I were to have a golden space station or a house on top of it, it would definitely be 50,000, not 25,000 square feet. You loser. Just get on with it, man. All right, now more. He changed a line that read, I'm sorry, I must go now and make $1 million somewhere else, to $1 billion. I get it, dude. Your penis is small. I got it, and you're not that rich. It keeps going. And he has no sense of humor. This is my favorite part. And they explained, Jesse Joyce was one of the writers. They would send him jokes like they do with everybody who gets roasted, and he would cross out some things. And okay, editing is somewhat normal, but listen to what he did. I've done this a long time, Jesse Joyce says, and nobody blacks out the punchlines. Scrapping punchlines represents a classic lack of an understanding of how a joke works. And so they give an example. A roast can be, Rick Austin explained, a roast can be pretty blue and a brutal affair. but it's also validated by someone laughing. If they aren't laughing, it makes the audience uncomfortable. So he has no sense of humor. He crosses out the punchlines. There's no joke without the punchline. And then they're doing the roast, and at one point a producer has to come up during one of the breaks. They're like, Donald, can you laugh? And then I realized, oh my God, that's true. I've never seen Donald Trump laughing. I've seen him with that creepy smile that he has every once in a while. But I've never seen him laughing, and he's not laughing at his own roast. So they go on to say, during one break, Ferkle went on stage to encourage Trump to lighten up. Ross even began his set with an impromptu line. This is exciting. Trump, are you having a good time? Then tell your face. Which is an awesome line. That's why he's so good at this. But now, finally, they get to his hair. He also doesn't want to make fun of their hair. It's a roast. You're supposed to make fun of things. All right. He says, but Trump resisted. In the first draft, he crossed out a joke about needing to feed his squirrel-like bouffant. When the writers kept the joke in for the second draft, he crossed it out again, offering instead this about his hair. Look how great it looks. That is not a joke. A joke doesn't go like, oh, look at my hair, it's so good. Where's the freaking joke? You buffoon! Okay, all right. Finally, put it all into one here. So they're like, dude, we have to make fun of the hair, otherwise you're gonna look even more ridiculous. So they have this joke in. What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $2 billion. Trump eventually agreed to use the joke, according to several people involved in the show, so long as the $2 billion was changed to $7 billion. Ay, 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 ay. This is literally the most insecure man I have ever heard of. Maybe there are more in the world, but I've never heard of anyone this insecure. No, it's not $2 billion, it's $7 billion. It's not $25,000, it's $50,000. No, my hair, it's wonderful, it's great. Like the joke we should make about my hair is how good looking it is. And this is the loser you support. Enjoy.